to the call tonight. We have a couple moments before we get started, so definitely don't be shy. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and make sure you've got your lines muted. You have your cameras muted if you have to have your camera muted. If you're not in position to be on camera, then definitely go ahead and do that as well. I see we have Bernice chiming in from Houston, Kyrie from NYC. Welcome to the line tonight. All right, let me see if I can pull my Facebook up as well to see who we have joined in over there. Carlos chiming in from Cyprus, Candy in Houston. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. Excuse me. Here we go. All right, for those of you chiming in on Facebook, I want to welcome you guys as well. So again, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and tag anyone that's joining you in the chat there as well. If you are chiming in via Zoom, definitely go ahead and drop your name as well in the chat. Let me know your name and where you're chiming in from. For those of you guys just now jumping onto the call, my name is Carly Gwynn. I'm chiming in tonight from Orlando, Florida, and it is absolutely my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be your host tonight on the call and welcome each and every one of you to the line, as well as introducing you to our phenomenal speaker and trainer who is going to be joining us here momentarily. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and drop your name and where you're chiming in from in the chat. I see we have Derek from Houston. Welcome. Rafael in San Antonio. Welcome. Ava chiming in from Texas. Welcome to the call tonight. Also, as you are jumping on, please go ahead and make sure your lines are muted out so we don't have any background noise or distraction, nothing keeping us from the information or being a distraction from our speaker tonight. Also, go ahead, if you're not in position to be on camera, please go ahead and mute out your camera so we don't have any distractions there either. But guys, I'm so fired up and excited for tonight's call. If you are fired up and excited, let me see those fire emojis in the chat as well. I see we have Angel chiming in from Houston, Brenda chiming in from Colorado, Leroy in St. Louis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I see those fire emojis coming across, the hearts coming across. I love it. I love it. Guys, you definitely want to make sure that you're bringing that energy to the call, right? As I said before, making sure that you're in a quiet place with nothing distracting you for the call, but also making sure that you have your energy ready to receive everything that our trainers and speakers have to share with you. Because guys, that's how you're going to get the most out of the Millionaire Mentorship call. Okay, so definitely go ahead and make sure you're getting yourself primed and ready to go, that you got your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever it is that you need to keep yourself focused and intentional on the call, because you don't want to miss a moment of the Millionaire Mentorship call. Okay, so let me jump back over here. I'm seeing all the fire emojis and hearts. Let me scroll back and see the names of who is joining us. I see we have Benjamin in Seattle, we have Tamika in Houston, Idris in Brooklyn, Leslie in South Carolina, we have Carla in Baltimore, Laura in South Carolina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sarah in Maryland, welcome to the call. Michael in Boston, welcome to the call. We literally have a couple moments left before we get started. So, definitely take these last opportunity to send out those text messages that are going to be joining you on the call, that are ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, as you're jumping, that your lines are muted, because if they are not, absolutely hear you. And I do have someone that appears to be off of mute. Thank you for muting yourself. Definitely want to make sure we have a crystal clear call. So please make certain that you mute your lines as you are jumping onto the call so we don't have any background noise or distractions, okay? My name is Carly Gwynn, and I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. Yeah, we caught somebody singing on the line. Definitely want to make sure we don't have that going on, okay? I understand the excitement, but you definitely want to make sure we have that crystal clear call. This is not karaoke tonight. This is the Millionaire Mentorship call. I'm just kidding, y'all, but seriously, please make sure you have your lines muted. And definitely, again, if you're not in position to be on camera, then definitely make sure you mute that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to step out of the way of greatness. The gentleman that I have the honor and privilege of introducing to you tonight, he's a family man. He's a military veteran, and he's been a successful entrepreneur for the past 25 years. He's earned millions of dollars in 3 different industries, and he's come out of retirement because this will be the fourth industry that he's going to earn millions of dollars in. But not only has he done pretty well for himself, but he's always done what's best for his people and helped them to be successful and make millions of dollars as well. He's actually has a goal to help 10,000 families generate $5,000 per month in residual income over the next 2 to 5 years. What I love most about him is he's the definition of integrity and character, and he's one of the only people that's ever been and done every single thing that he ever committed to me that he would be or do. So please give me some fire, give me some hearts, give me some love in the chat, and please help me welcome to the line someone I'm honored to call my coach, my mentor, and my friend, the VP of Leadership Development, Mr. Sam Bean.
Let's go, Sam. Let's go, Sam.
Hey, man, look, this is going to be a good night. Anytime you get some hosting like that, you can't help be but fire. That's what I'm talking about. So, Carly, I appreciate you. Out of Orlando, it's got to be hot. It's got to be 100 and something degrees out there the way you brought it this afternoon. So I appreciate you. And speaking of Orlando, guys, yeah, I just want to start the call off and just kind of give our prayers and our blessings and our thoughts, and and just make sure you're reaching out to people who are on the East Coast, who may have been, I would say, affected, by the storm. And so Helena did a lot of damage and took some lives and ruined some properties and stuff like that. And so I want to make sure that we keep our partners, our colleagues, our family and friends that are on that side of the world in our thoughts, and make sure we're checking on them. The other thing I want to do is this, as always, I want to make sure that I give my appreciation to my partners and the principals, of this company, from Mr. Winston Navarro, J.C. Rangel, the Pachecos, Carla and Danny Pacheco. Definitely want to say I appreciate you guys for opening up this company and giving us this opportunity to go out here and do something amazing. Yeah. Definitely also want to give a shout out to my partners in crime, Kevin Moreno, Ed Ayala, Julio Aquino. Guys, we got some things going on right now behind the scenes that when you get to these big events that are coming up, you'll see, you're going to feel it. Your business is going to be impacted by it, and it's just going to be amazing. And speaking of events, definitely want to say this weekend, October the 5th, it's going to be a great weekend because my birthday is October 4th. So whatever y'all do on the 5th is going to be fire. All right. So October the 5th, you got two fire events. All right. You got a event that's in California, LA, local, right there at the main office of BYLD, with none other than the VP of Sales, Mr. J.C. Rangel, from 10 to 2. There's going to be a hot business opportunity meeting first, and then 3 hours of powerful nugget field training after that. And then at the same time, you'll have, and some of you guys have seen it already in the WhatsApp group for the company, Mr. Ed Ayala, Julio Aquino, and the usual suspects. Yeah, these guys, it's about 6 of them total, $1 million earners, big time builders, people who know how to go out there and light it up, pun intended, on the solar side. But guys, if you want to go out here and take your business to the next level, like I said, October the 5th, it's going to be where it's at. Obviously Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, we have our weekly calls. We want to make sure that you guys are plugging in to each one of those events. Remember, you only have 2 that we do as a company. So make sure you maximize every one of those events. Make sure you're getting people on each and every last one of those events. The presenters are getting better and better, and the information is getting more and more powerful. And keep in mind, anytime you have an event, guys, and you have guests, you're always there hoping that the energy is right. You're always there hoping that you see a lot of, participation in the chats. You're always hoping that the speaker is on point and about to knock it out on your behalf. Well, the speaker needs your energy. The speaker needs to see those numbers. The speaker needs to see your chats as well. So anytime you don't have a guest, make sure we have you. Okay, make sure you're there to show the energy, show the love. Do comment and giving all the good feedback that somebody else's guests need to see. Okay, don't be selfish. Right, let's make sure we are here. We're one company, one goal, one vision, one dream, and one team. And so let's make sure we're supporting every event, because when you need the event's there for you, right? But when the event needs you, will you be there for it? Okay. And so that's important. So again, that the information for those events, and if we have one or Miss Marino on the call, Jessica, anybody who has the links to those events and the banners to those flyers, go ahead and put them in the chat. I know they're in the WhatsApp group for the company, but go ahead and put them in the chat for us.
Yes, I'll put them up in a little bit.
Thank you, darling. Appreciate it.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.
All right, teamwork. All right, TEAM. Together, everyone accomplishes more. So, with that being said, we want to definitely jump into this thing here, and we want to make sure that we understand that when it comes to events, guys, it's one thing for you to do your job and you to go out here and go through the numbers and you to go out here and just really put yourself in a position where you've done your very best and you got people showing up. At least they said they're going to show up, right? And so that's the most important part. Just by the numbers, if you do everything right, 50% of the people are going to show up. It's the 50-50 rule. Life happens for everybody, guys. Everybody is not taking it personal. They're not just giving you, they're not just flaking out on you. Things happen. Kids from school, whatever it is, or something happened, some pipe burst in the house, accident, something happened at work, whatever it is, got to work late. Half of the people are going to show up if you do everything that you're supposed to do right. Even less are going to show up if you don't. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I'm back. All right, I'm back. And so when you actually look at a person who, again, you just inviting people, you're asking people to show up or whatever it is, far less people are going to actually show up. And so you want to make sure you master your invite. And when you look at the invite, this is not going to be invite training. Your leaders are going to teach you how to invite. What I want to do is I want to fortify your invite. Okay. And one thing I do understand is that we have fire presenters, but if we don't have an audience in attendance, and that means that you're not making any money, right? And so if you don't have people in the seat, you're not making any money. And so what I do understand is that people who make millions of dollars and people who make the most money in the industry, they do so because they actually have people who do third party confirmations for them. So what I did was the last two companies that I did, we did this all the time. We always invited. We had invite parties, calling parties, and calling parties were basically we were calling to get people there, right? And to the next 2 or 3 events that we would have, if you couldn't come to one, you was gonna come to the other, and they had options. But then we would have another calling party, virtual calling party, where now we actually called for each other. Okay, we actually sent out a list of people who were actually going to be coming to those events, and they said they were going to come to those events. We had somebody who called on our behalf. Okay, and so what I want to show you guys is what that actually looks like. And so I call it the VIP cars. And what I want to do is I want to have, let's see here, Sabrina. I know Sabrina is on, and I think Sarah is on as well. Let's see here. Sarah, if you want to let me know. No, yeah, Sarah's on. I see Sarah. I see Sabrina. Okay, so guys, take your phones off of your systems off mute. And this is what I'm going to do. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So Sarah, let me see. Hold on. Who we have here? Okay, so Sarah, I want you to call Sabrina as if you're calling on my behalf, right? You're calling her to invite her. You're calling her to confirm that she's coming on my behalf.
Okay.
And guys, they didn't know this was happening, right? They basically just I'm just picking on them. So this is what we do.
All right, you ready, Sabrina?
Yes.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello?
Hi, Sabrina. This is Sarah with VIP Cars. I'm calling on behalf of Mr. Bean. We are a VIP confirmation appointment and reminder service that was hired by Mr. Bean. Oh, I'm having trouble seeing this.
You're...
There you go. Can you see that one?
No, it's not sharing anymore.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. So it went away. Okay, let's see here. Okay. 1 second, guys. Get it right back up here for you. There's a purple one, right? There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, that was hired by Mr. Bean.
Okay.
I'm calling to remind you of your event with Mr. Bean. We have you set for Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay.
Okay, would you like to verify the address? Like the Zoom, the
The
Zoom?
Zoom address? Okay. 45679.
All right, that is perfect. That is right on point. She also wanted you to know if you were bringing a +1. She also wanted.
Actually, I'm bringing 5.
Oh, okay. So I will go ahead and I will let her know that. We don't need the names or anything. We just need to make sure we have space. So, but I will go ahead and put that down for you. Before I release the lines, do you have any questions for me?
Is there anything particular I need to know?
Just know that you should bring pen and paper and be prepared because it's going to be a lot of wonderful information for you.
Got it.
Okay, I'll let Mr. Bean know to expect you. Enjoy your event. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you very much. Everybody, give them some fire, give them some ones. You know, even with my computer glitch, they showed up, showed out. But this is the thing, guys. I want you guys to know, and we'll make sure we put that. Matter of fact, let me see if I can add that to the chat for you guys here. Hold on 1 second here. But Sabrina, if one of you ladies, you, Carly, or Sarah, can actually add that to the chat, I appreciate it. And to get back to the training, guys, why they do that. What I want to do, what I want you to understand is this. I don't know. Back in the day, they had what they called infomercials. Some of you might be a little bit too young to understand what an infomercial is, but that's when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't have anything better to do, and so they catch you and they make you buy something. And before they get off the line, they bring a third party on the call, and that third party person is the one that they have is their manager, quote unquote, right? And so they know it's easy. It's easy for them to tell you anything and get you off the phone. That's fine. But when they bring that manager on there to confirm, which is their buddies that sit next to them on at the desk next to them, okay, well, you say, all right, cool. I'm in it. I'll go ahead and pay for it. I'll go ahead and run it. It's cool. You know, run the credit card. And so now you just seal the deal, right? So the other thing is this, guys, when you actually have someone call on your behalf, right? You have huge turn numbers. Like the numbers that you were actually going to have are a lot better after these calls, you know, are made on your behalf because now you have somebody saying, man, he just hired a service. Man, the service is calling on his behalf. Wow, Dan hired a service, and this is what they're saying. Them says, man, this is Johnny Montes hired a service. Johnny is stepping his game up, right? And so they're looking at you like, man, this got to be big. They acting professional around here. They got this thing going, and all of a sudden, you know, you're sealing a deal, and basically you just continue to do that, guys, because what's happening is, you know, that second voice, that third voice, well, it's not just a reminder, right? But it's a confirmation. That person is a disinterested third party. They're just calling to confirm and validate that you're showing up, and you don't want that person to go back to the person who just hired them to call you and say that this person's not coming, right? And so again, it's against human nature, and so that's what people who understand sales, they understand people, right? And that's one thing that you guys want to use. Like I said, if you like it, use it. If you don't. But that's just something again that I used in the past, our teams used in the past, and we had high turn up numbers, and people showed up on purpose. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is we want to talk about, let's see here, the end of the month, right? And so you want to make sure that you close like a champ and not like a chump. Okay. And so again, that's a really, really big difference. Champs have already laid it down. It's the 30th. They know we're close to their goals. You know, they have already given up on their goals. They've given up on their team's goals. They've given up on their leaders' goals. They've given up on the company's goals. It's just, you know what? Next month's coming. Next month is tomorrow. You know, and we'll just see if I can do better tomorrow. Well, one, again, you're unintentionally being selfish. Okay. And so I'm also I want to show you, how you're also teaching your team a cancerous behavior, right? Because your teams are going to do exactly what they see you do, right? So when you look at a person who, if you're running a race or you're working out in the gym, it doesn't matter. If you have a finish line, you have a destination, you ever notice the closer you get, the slower you run? Right? If you can see the finish line, you know it's almost there. So you don't give your all. You don't run your hardest. It starts to actually, man, your body also starts to tell you, man, my legs are hurting. Slow down. If you're swimming, my body is hurting. Slow down, or it's harder to breathe. Or if you're up on that bench and they're saying get one more, your body is saying, man, I know you got one more in you, but right now it's just go ahead and give up. Just put it down and tell them I can't do no more. Right? That's how you do anything is how you do everything. And until you counteract that, until you learn how to stop that with just normal stuff, that'll carry over into your business as well. So when you see a finish line like the 30th or the 31st, around about the 27th, 26th, 27th, if you don't look like you're going to hit the goal, you don't look like you're going to win, guess what you do? You get distracted. You start doing everything except for building your business, right? And so you want to run through the line, not to the line, right? You want to make sure that, give an example. If you are, let's say, anybody remember, just say me if you remember that famous Holyfield and Riddick Bowe fight where they were fighting after the round was over with. That fight was a classic. They still show it, and they show it mostly because of how they were throwing haymakers one after the other, and the fight was over for at least 15 to 20 seconds. And the referee, they was throwing so hard after the bell had rang, right? That the referee had to find a way to get in there like it was double dutch to break it up, right? And so these guys, they knew for a fact that just because I heard the bell ring don't mean I put my hands down. Right? Just like you. If you see the 30th, just because you see the 30th, doesn't mean you put your hands down. That doesn't mean you stop fighting. There's always a reason to keep them up. Right? There's always a reason to keep fighting. Okay. And so when you actually look at it, think about it for a second. It's that you have a person who may be one or two memberships away from actually hitting Builder 500 or Builder 1000 or Builder 2000. That's either on your team or in your even as a senior partner, right? And instead of putting that person in the system today, you sandbag, right? And you say, you know what, I'm just gonna put him in tomorrow, start the month off, and I put him in on the first. Okay. Well, what ends up happening is now um, that person who is in your downline, when you look and you do the numbers and say, oh man, if I would have put those two in, they would have hit Builder 500 just because of overflow, or Builder 1000 just because of spillover, or I put them in even though I would have been short of my goal. You find out that your senior partner, your sponsor, could have hit Builder 1000, Builder 2000, had you put those in, and you pretty much put yourself in a position where you made a decision, a selfish decision, and instead of putting them in at the end of the month, you held on to it. Okay. And so that means that you're not reliable. That means that you're not trustworthy. That from a business perspective, that means that you're going to do things that make you feel good, right? As opposed to things that help everybody in the group. And that's a network marketing thing. That's a network marketing bad habit. And that's something that you don't want to bring over to this company, right? And sandbagging in this company doesn't do you any good. As a network marketing, it would do you a lot different. But here, there's actually no difference in it at all. If you actually look at it, guys, when you look at you putting it in today, being the last day of the month, and then you putting it in next month, basically instead of getting paid, today and next month, you only get paid next month. Okay. And also at the same time, you can actually put somebody in a position where that one application or that two or those two or whatever it is, they actually matter. They actually count to somebody, even though they may not count for you. Yeah. So again, we want to make sure that there's always a cause and effect, going on. We want to make sure that you guys always think about the whole entire overall picture and how you don't stop. Because when you actually do stop and people know, like say you holding my application, I'm brand new, I don't know any better. And Ava, you turn around and say, you know what, I signed up yesterday, right? On the 29th. And basically, or you didn't send me the link into the 30th or the 30th or the first on purpose. So you didn't send me the link into the first on purpose. So I wouldn't sign up until the first. So guess what? there's a reason why you did that, and I'm gonna try to figure it out. And if I figure it out and it's the wrong reason, but it sounds right, I'll do the same exact thing. And then what you're doing is now you're pushing your rank away from you. You're also pushing your income and like your income away from you. So think about if you had 1,000 people in your group, they all did that, and they all waited till the very next month. Because see, when you think about it right now, you're thinking about it from where your business is right now, how small your business is right now with 5 people, 15 people, 50 people, 500, whatever it is. But think about it when you have 1,000 people making that same decision. Think about how costly is that at that point in time? Okay. Remember, your group would do 80% of the people in your group would do 100% of what you do wrong. 20% of the people in your group will do 100% of what you do right. Okay. So make sure you're actually having the right, the right actions and things like that. So talked about don't sandbag, right? Let's see here. Yeah, make sure you close your month out like McDonald's at the end of the night. I mean, at the end of every night, make sure you're closing your numbers out. Make sure you're going over your numbers. Okay. So what would I do if I was in your position? Like right now, for me, I would be identifying people that still have a rank to hit. Okay. I would also identify people on my own personal line, and I would make sure that people on my own personal line, if they're inactive, I want to make sure I call them and make sure that they know they're inactive. And then not just make sure they know that they're inactive, but show them that, hey, go log in right away. Because as soon as you log in, what's going to end up happening is you're going to see a warning message or a message from the company that says that you're inactive, and it's going to tell you how to become active. You don't want to skip months, guys. You want to make sure you're consistent. You want to make sure that you're in a position to run that auto ship, and I'll tell you why and give you some benefits of running the subscriptions, right? You also want to make sure that if there anybody that's in your group that's on as a consultant, and you know that they're building a team, and they want to build for the residuals, you want to make sure that they actually have a conversation with them about upgrading. Okay? You want to make sure this is where you actually liquidate the volume at the end of the month. This is where you close out. You want to make sure that if there's any volume on that you can put on the books, you want to make sure that you're putting them on the books, right? But again, now that's what I did for my personals. And I go down to my group and find out who's close, who's 1, 2, 3, 5 memberships away from hitting a rank, right? And then I'm teaching them how to do the same exact thing. We're doing 3-ways, lifelines. I'm helping them do phone calls, and all I'm doing is having conversations with people about how that upgrade or how from flipping from an affiliate to a builder is going to benefit them. It's not for me. And so we're not saying, hey, do this so we can do a rank, because that's not what this is about. Okay. You hit the rank, right, as a byproduct of you helping people make decisions, business decisions that are going to affect them in the future. Okay. So when you have those conversations with people, just know what their goals are. I know what they're trying to achieve, and you actually now cater that conversation of them upgrading and them actually converting from affiliate to the builder around their goals. So a lot of you have people who have been in the system 2, 3, 5 months, 6 months, 9 months almost, and you haven't had conversations with them. This is when you get a chance to go back and have those conversations. This is where you get a chance to go back and say, hey, man, changes have happened. Big things have happened. The company's exploded. This thing is growing, right? Right now, my team has X, Y, and Z amount of people in it right now, and it's just kicking. And bring them up to date. Get them some videos to watch. Give them some content. Put them in the groups. Make sure that they, if they're not in the groups, make sure that they are put in the groups. Right? Get them active. And even if they don't do anything today, that's fine. You got their attention. You're on their radar, because tomorrow's coming. I mean, you got to eat tomorrow as well, right? And so again, you want to make sure that you're having high quality conversations with people, but those conversations being in their best interest. So that's what I would personally be doing right now if I was you in that position. Okay. When it comes to the back office, let me share with you something. I mean, this is one of the things that is very, very important. So if I was able to share with you guys how you can actually get your business to grow 30 times faster, 30 times bigger, and you earn 30% more money than what you're already going to make, what do you want me to show you? If you want me to show you, put a 1 in the chat. or put show me, say show me or something. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to it right now. All right. Let me see here. Okay. So when you look at the back office, guys, right now, this is the information that I want to share with you guys. So what I understand about subscriptions is this: when you actually have a subscription date, and most everybody's subscription date at the moment is the exact date that they signed up, on. So if you sign up on the 30th, it's going to be the 30th next month. Those of you who signed up on the 30th, it's going to be the next month is going to be on the 30th. You sign up like you see mine here on the 22nd of February is when I signed up, right? It's been the 21st or the 22nd of every month. So basically that's how it works, right? And so what I am going to do here is what I'm going to suggest you guys do. So here in the month of October, I'm setting mine because I had this conversation with my team on Saturday, and a lot of them have already done this. Okay, and so I put mine to 10-5, right? And so this is what I want you guys to understand is when you actually have your subscriptions on the beginning of the month versus the end of the month, it makes a big difference. Okay, so right now, based on just this training that we just had about subscriptions, guys, do you think that was helpful information? Right? If you think this is something that you're going to implement going forward, as far as making sure your people are going to be, talked to, people are going to be educated on what's going on, and everybody's going to be where they need to be at the end of the month, put a one in the chat if you saw value on that, because some of you guys right now, your businesses may be too small to do it, or it may be a little bit too late, depending on what part of the world you're in to do this. But next month is going to have to happen. And the reason why it's going to happen is because of what I'm about to explain to you now. When I first got to my first 5 and 6 figure, my first 5-figure monthly income, residual income, it happened on the wake of me having this change of philosophy. Okay. When a person has to wait to the end of the month, okay, to actually run their auto ships, and you're the leader, guess what happens? Your team does the same exact thing. They basically they don't change anything. There's no reason to. There's no concept behind it. Nobody's even thinking about it because you're not even talking about it, right? And so, but what ends up happening is at the end of the month, based on the fact that everybody's numbers are at the end of the month, you don't know where you really are at, right? You don't people who want to hit a rank now based on how many auto subscriptions they've actually run, they won't know where they are at, and how close they are to their goal or the next rank until everybody's subscriptions have run at the end of the month. And a lot of times it's way too late. You end up scrambling. You end up having to stop the really, really important thing that you're doing just so you can get that knocked out, right? And so, however, when you're actually in the beginning of the month, and in my presentation, some of you guys will hear me say to imagine you're waking up, on the first of the month, and it's the beginning of the month, right? Between the first and the fifth, and your house note is paid already. Now, your mortgage is already taken care of. $4,000 a month's coming in, you got built in. That's just it's looking lovely because now the house note is paid, the car note is paid, the other car note is paid, and that's just on your residuals on subscriptions. As you see that when you see everybody's subscriptions run between the first and the fifth, right? And then now everything else is just gravy. So now when you bring all of the volume, right, to the beginning of the month, you know exactly what you got to deal with going through the rest of the month. So from the first to the fifth, boom, that's the money phase. That's you're getting it all into the house, bringing everything into the storehouse, and then from the 6th to the 30th, you just running, you just grinding, right? Well, what if I just got signed up on the 30th? Okay, put it on the 5th. We're talking about $100. Okay, put it on the 5th. Okay, put it on the 5th. You still want to put it on the 5th. If it was $500,000, something like that, I get it. But we're talking about the fifth. So put it on the fifth. Remember, lead by example. You want to make sure that you can teach not by theory, but by application. So when people hear us teaching this going forward, and they ask you what date your subscription is running on, you want to make sure that you can tell them with on all authenticity that yours is on the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. Right? You follow the system. And remember, you don't have to do this. You don't. If you're a builder and you say you have huge goals, huge subscription goals, you don't have to do this. Okay. But also, you don't have to reap the benefits of it. You can build a slow business and you can build a business that's casual and have a lot of people following you the wrong way. Okay. But when you get it, all that volume comes in, everybody's excited. Remember, if you notice, when people get checks, they get excited. So if they have to wait the whole entire month, they're having to wait the whole entire month for residual income to get excited. If it's the first, fifth, first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, they're getting excited in the beginning of the month, and now they're excited for the rest of the month. It's easier to get a person to make those phone calls, right, when they see what's happening, when they're making money. It's easy for them to follow up. It's easier for them to promote. It's easier for them to go out there and come to events. It's easier for them to pay for events and travel and all the stuff that they need to do to be successful. Okay, I'm just telling you this one thing. If you don't get anything else, out of this, out of this training call, get this. We are a subscription-based business model. That back end, again, the people who take this advice and build a business and take this advice while they're building, thank me a year from now. That's all I'm gonna say. I do steak, right? It's steak dinner. That's all I want, right? But I have, guys, I'm telling you, this advice has put me in a position where everything shifted, everything changed, and all like at the beginning of the month, we're talking about a month and open it up. We're talking about 50, 60 grand residual income coming in every month. When I started doing it, I was at $3,000 a month of residual income when I learned it. Okay? And so you'll be amazed at what human nature does, because think about it for a second. When you celebrate somebody and they're really, really excited about you celebrating them, or you recognizing them, whatever, or you reward them, it's easier, for them to go out there and continue to do things to be recognized with, because what gets rewarded gets repeated. So again, when a person moves their subscription up to the front of the month and everybody in their group does the same thing, the fact that they're getting paid and hitting rank earlier is a reward. Okay? And so now they can coach from that. Now they can teach from that. Right? And so you want to make sure that you put them in a position to do that. But when it comes to just the subscriptions, period, matter of fact, let me get out of here. But this is, again, what you do is you go to my account, click on membership, just so y'all know, go to my account, click on membership, and then go down here, change your date, right? And boom. Also, for those of you who have, set yours, I have mine on iWallet, and then secondary will be credit card. You can change if you have the money in your iWallet. If you wanted to run out of there, I'd actually say, hey, run it out of the profits, as opposed to off my credit card. My credit card is just a backup. So if anything was ever happen where I had to pay for it, which I won't, because I have too many people, I have way more than four, it would come from my iWallet first, and then it would come from my credit card. The other thing is this: when you're actually, when you have four, this is I want to make sure you don't make this mistake, because certain people have made this mistake, and they wonder why they were inactive, right? The moment you say, hey, look, I got my four, I'm not paying no more, and you feel like it's time for you to take your credit card up, you still have to have an active credit card on file. Even though they're not hitting it, you still have to have it on file. The moment you take it off file, the account goes inactive. Okay? And so again, it needs to be on file to make sure you get credit for you'll pay for, or you get for and pay no more. Okay? So that's just a nugget. One Australian and I, who one gave me a little crash course on this stuff today. We're actually going to come back and do a full back office training to show you guys the ins and outs of this, and how to build, and how to go out here, find your inactives, find your and you can find it, but find your inactives, find your the consultants and all this other stuff, and it'll show you what side of your businesses you want to work on, And we're going to go through a whole lot of that good stuff. But I appreciate Mr. Juan for giving me this information today. So at the end of the day, guys, there are a couple of reasons why you really want to have your subscriptions on. Okay, and now this is from a different perspective. Okay, so when you look at the business side of it, we're talking about, like JC said, you want to give yourself 5 years to make life fair, right? You want to give yourself 5 years to build your business. Give yourself 5 years to make sure you can take the rest of your life off and get all your goals knocked out. Well, you want to make sure the company is around for 5 years. Okay, it's not just the Rangels, the Navarros, the Pachecos. It's not just their um, you know, responsibility to keep the companies open, keep the doors open, make sure everything is funded. All right, it's our job as well, right? And so if you see, there are a lot of companies in this industry going out of business, right? I'm just telling you, for a lack of leadership, going out of business, lack of vision, going out of business. And when I look at the subscription model that we actually have, right, it doesn't just keep us in business, but the subscription model actually helps us pay you guys more money. It helps us give bigger discounts, to the actual, the customers, the homeowners, right? So your subscriptions, guys, your investments think about this for a second, over thousands right now. And then at some point in time, over tens of thousands and over hundreds of thousands at some point in time, and at some point in time in the millions. When everybody's doing subscriptions, guys, we'll be the most fortified corporation out there. And everybody else will still they'll have subscriptions, but they won't know why they need subscriptions, right? They'll, there are companies out there practicing, copying everything that we're doing right now, right? Landon will tell you, Aegis will tell you, there are companies out there in this space right now, everything they are doing now looks exactly like what we're doing. But it's just like the Green Bay Packers of the old. When you had Vince Lombardi, all he did was run the ball right at you, right down your throat, right? And you knew it was coming and wasn't nothing you could do about it. And then you had other people who tried to copy the same play. And it wouldn't work for them the same way because they didn't understand the secret sauce. They didn't understand the reason why that play was run and why it was run so effective, right? And so I'm just telling you, I'm giving you guys just some insight, um, information when it comes to why that subscription is so important. If this is truly your company and you truly plan on getting to $100,000 a month at some point in time, or $250,000 a month, or $50,000 a month, make sure the company's around to pay you that forever. Also, as a subscription, right? When you have a monthly subscription, when it comes to the IRS, the I, the R, and the S, guys, that shows the intent to do business. You're actually investing in your company on a monthly basis. It shows that you are actively building a business for the whole entire 12 months that you are looking to claim taxes on. Okay, for those of you who have a job right now and you haven't closed one deal, you haven't closed one solar deal, you haven't closed one water deal, you haven't did anything except for come to trainings and everything else, but you make $100,000 a year on your job. Okay, just by having an auto ship, you made about $17,000. Let me share with you why. When you make $100,000, guys, and you have no dependents, you don't make $100,000. You make 65,000, right? Because the government keep 35,000. They're gonna keep that. When you actually have tax returns, right? When you have something that you can write off, and you can write off all your business, what have you. Let's say you can write off 50% of that 35,000. They kept that 17,000. There's 17,500 that you get back. So basically, you made about 82,000, 82.5 now instead of 65,000. And so again, don't run a cheap business, right? I'm just telling you, put yourself in a position to win. The other thing is this: everything you do, you can actually, again, your team is going to do. They're going to follow you. Period. Point blank. Also, for those of you who have the subscriptions, make sure you go back in the back office and really go. We drill this down with the group on Saturday. Right now, as a matter of fact, where is it at? Let's see here. Infinite. Okay. So Brenda, just on she gets really good discounts on at the movies. Her children goes and gets discounts at fast foods. They do activities as well. Arlene, she used it for her conference, and she saved $52 per person, per room dual occupancy, $104 on their trip to Jamaica. Arlene, that was again, that's just that we talking about vacay. Kyrie, his daughter, basically spilled some on her t-shirt, and they ran into Old Navy because he looked at his membership rewards and said, "Hey, Old Navy, give us a discount on it." So he had a 30% discount at Old Navy. They walked in the store, came out the store with a new t-shirt, nice, clean, 30% off, right? Sabrina, Marco Pizza, buy one, get one free, right? Save $50 per night on her hotel as well. I'm just saying, booked their airline tickets. The concierge took care of their seats. She had a great concierge service. Right, Idris, $70 saving per night during Easter break, and for moms. And she was even able to bring her dog at one of the finest hotels in New York. And I'm just telling you, he's been using it ever since. It's not just me. If you actually go in here and you start using this stuff and you know exactly what you get with your membership and you can start talking to people about it, again, one, you'll fall in love with it and you'll always be in it. But two, you'll have other people doing the same exact thing. And when you talk about Amazon, you think people who have an Amazon Prime was talked into it? No, they use it, right? We talk about, don't say, me and my wife both have an Amazon Prime, and she tried to get me to get rid of mine. I'm like, well, get rid of yours. You know what I'm saying? I just, we both have one. Same household. It's too valuable. I don't want, hers might lapse. I don't know. But I want mine the same day, just like you want yours the same day, right? And so it is what it is. But we use it because it's valuable. Netflix, you use it because it's valuable. You don't just have a Netflix account just because somebody talked you into it. How many of y'all use your Netflix? Give me one. Say me. Just put me in the chat. If you use your Netflix, say me. Or I do. Whatever you want to do. I want to see this. Me, 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 me. And somebody said me, 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 me. Yeah. See, we talking about Netflix. When last time Netflix sent you a check? But you use it. If it go out, it's a problem, right? You hurry up and call them right back, get it right back. Some of y'all been inactive and ain't called nobody. Because again, you don't use it. But if you took your kids, if you took your kids, Brenda's take care of like 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? 4, 5 kids, other people kids. And so she need a discount. So every time she goes somewhere, she's gonna use that membership, right? And so I'm just telling y'all, guys, get in the back because you can't talk to anybody about what you don't use, what you don't understand. And then Brenda did a back office training for her new people. And when she got down to the tax preparation part and she got down to the money, the smart money concepts and stuff like that, I mean, it blew me away because I thought I knew what was back there. There was some stuff back there I had never seen before, I had never even watched before. And so I felt convicted because I got to go back there and catch up. But Brenda's going to be doing the training for my team at some point in time. She didn't know that, but now she does. You know what I'm saying? So at some point in time, one Saturday morning, guess what you're going to be doing, Brenda? Telling everybody about all the benefits that we have in the company, right? And so I just wanted to make sure you guys, again, put yourselves in a position where it's time for you to win. Again, right now, when you get to going back to the events, this event, we just did the mock-up on the runner show and the things that are going to be trained on, I just tell you, they're amazing. I'm sitting here looking at this stuff and I'm like, these people are about to get their money worth. And I'm just telling you, for those of you who understand how powerful this is, for those of you who are not the best speakers, those of you who are not the best trainers, those of you who are not, again, a person who can normally move mountains when it comes to people, you can get a person into a seat, but you can't, that's about the best you can do. That's all you need to. That was me. Back in the day, that's all I could do. I was the master promoter, right? And because I learned how to get people like JC to speak on my behalf. I can use JC to catch him. And if I was in a network marketing company, I can use Ed Ayala to catch him because my people are not going to listen to me, right? They love me. They respect me as a human being. But if I'm not making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if I don't have huge groups, they're not listening to me. It's like your people are not listening to you, and you know that. Okay. So if you get them to the big stage and let them watch Julio Aquino do his thing, watch Mr. Winston Navarro do his thing, watch, Mr. Pacheco get up there and Wakanda Forever on y'all. You got to be at the last event to see that. Y'all don't know what that's an inside joke for all my Cali people, but these are the people who move your people. These are the people who, like, for all of y'all, think about it for a second. If you had, and I need your participation on this. It may only be a few of you, but if you either had people in your group upgrade to builder, or if you upgraded to builder after I trained in California, just put me for me, because this is not for you. This is showing that you were where you were supposed to be. This is showing that you got a message, right? That you didn't know. Johnny Montes, again, leader. And so I'm just telling you guys, this is why you got to come to the event. The company got a raise after that event. And every time somebody goes to an event, the company should get a raise, because the amount of, or the value of the information that's being put out there, the water training is going to be out there. Then you have Mrs. Pacheco, who's going to be doing her thing out there. You don't want to miss this. Campaign for this. Okay? Make sure a person feels like if they don't go, they're going to miss it. And because they are, but remember, they're not missing it, the event. They're missing the opportunity to get to their goals easier, simpler, faster. The goal is always to get to the event. I don't care what else is going on. I don't miss events. Events that I qualify to go to, I never miss them, because there's always somebody that's smarter than me, training me and my people on something that I don't know. Okay? Stop thinking you always put something off and catch up, because that's not always the fact. You got to make some decisions. You got to make some sacrifices. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. Your bill collectors and the rest of the world don't care anything about your need. They care about your seed. And I'm gonna just tell you, if you're not in those seats to get the information, you can't help anybody. You can't increase your value to the market. And that's what you get paid on. Your value to the market. If you go there and you learn how to train something, you come back and you get to train your group on it. Now you're bringing value back to the market. You're becoming more and more respectable in their eyes. You're becoming the leader that they're not ready to be right now, that they can admire, right? They're going to be I'm not going to tell you what we're going to train on, but just know this. It's some seven-figure training is going to be happening. Just like we have multiple seven-figure verticals, there's going to be some multiple seven-figure trainings that's going to go on at the Mentor Factory. And I'm going to pray for you if you don't make it, because I already know what it's going to look like when we come out of there. And I already know what you're going to look like when you get stuck and everybody else is running right by you. So this is real talk. This seven-figure situation, seven-figure talk. I'm just being direct with you and honest. So what I want to do is turn you back over to your days and allow you to make whatever phone calls you can make in your groups to figure out who needs to, run their subscriptions, find out who needs to upgrade, find out who needs to get active instead of inactive, find out who's running for an event and running for a pin by the end of the month. Like, because I know right now Coffee is not on because, well, she's on now. But she wasn't on earlier because she had an 8 o'clock call, lunch call that she did, and because she's running for Builder 5,000, Builder 500 right now, and so she's trying to close the month out strong, and that's how you close the month out strong. She did a presentation on Saturday and had over 100 people on that call, right? And she did it. I didn't do it, right? So I'm her sponsor. She did it on her own. She's not going to wait for me to come rescue her, okay? And so I suggest each and every last one of you guys do the same. So with that, I'll turn you back over to you, Evening. I appreciate your time. And let's go ahead and finish the month out strong. Let's finish this month out like a champ and not like a chump. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.